So this session is about HaasTooling.com, and John is our resident Haas tooling expert. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the future.
Okay.
So 2 ways you can get Haas tools. One, if you're buying a machine, you can add all the tool holders, cutting tools, pull studs, everything you need to the machine order and package that entire thing and finance it all together. So you get a new machine, you're going to need new tools. It's a great way to finance everything. Or you can buy direct, HaasTooling.com. I know a lot of you out there have small shops and you probably go home at night and say, oh man, I need some end mills tomorrow. Go to HaasTooling.com, order your 1/2-inch end mills. If it's $99 or more, it's free shipping and you'll have the tools in a couple of days. So John's here because John is our expert on testing. As a matter of fact, John supervised all of the mill testing. So what we like to say is these tools are John Nelson approved.
Oh, shucks.
So let's talk about a little bit what you did with the testing, how you spearheaded that.
So we got all the tools in. We set up a custom VPS template to define places for them to put the surface footage and the chip load and all the information that you would get from the manufacturer. We recorded via dprint statements to output the tool diameter, the material that we were cutting, a whole bunch of information that we all got in spreadsheets. And then your team set up video cameras inside of the machine that we were testing.
Right.
So every mill cutter that we tested, there's a video that goes, a cutting video that goes along with it.
That's right.
And then we were able to, using that, we programmed all of the tools to run at right in the middle of the recommended speed and feed from the manufacturer, to make sure that once you got this tool and you ran it on this material, if you plugged in the middle number, it would work. I promise you it will work. Now there's plenty of room on these tools to either speed them up to make them run quicker or slow them down if your application is a little weaker. You have a long tool, long overhang, or thin wall material, whatever it is, there is room to go up and down in those in those recommended speeds and feeds. But for our testing, we put everything right in the middle. Now, not every tool we tested made the cut.
Pun intended.
yeah, literally pun intended. But most of the stuff we did was excellent, and so obviously we only chose to provide the tools that performed very well during the test.
Right. So we're going to get started on looking at some of the tools, and the way we're going to do this is we're going to start with tools that are currently on the website, and that's about 2 tables worth of tools here. Then we're going to get into the coming soon. We've got some tools that'll be on the site in October, maybe November, and then after that is the future stuff. We're going to kind of give you a sneak peek.
Yeah, 2021.
That's right. Okay, so let's get started here. We're going to start with modular and insert drills.
Yeah. So here's the modular drill. This is an example of one of them. These are tool steel bodies that take a carbide insert that goes in the tip, and here's the tool that comes with the body to install the inserts. And essentially these are for your medium-sized holes. They kind of bridge the gap between the solid carbide drills and the larger insert drills. And the cool thing about these is that you can get one drill body and put in a couple of different insert sizes, so you can drill different size holes with the same body just by changing the carbide insert. We have 8 different seats, or 8 different bodies, and available 18 different inserts that fit those. So that gives you an idea of how many different inserts are for the different bodies. So that's modular drilling. And then here we step over to, next we have the insert drills. So these insert drills are for the medium and large diameter holes. We offer these in sizes from 3/4 of an inch up to 1 3/4 of an inch. And all of these insert drills that we carry have 2 specific inserts that go in the drill. There's an inboard insert, or the internal insert. That's this one right here. This insert gets installed on the front, and then this insert is the periphery insert, which goes on the outside edge, or the bigger diameter. So it's really nice because they design the inserts to perform better at the periphery of this drill, and this one to perform better on the inside of the drill. So they cut fantastic and produce a really good finish, but also produce the holes very, very close to the specified size. So fantastic. And then each of the insert drill bodies comes with the Torx wrench
for installation.
Loosen and tighten the screws for installation. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on to drills and taps. And before we do this, I want to mention real quick that these taps, obviously all the prices are on the website. If you buy 5 taps, you get a 5% discount. If you buy 10 taps or drills, or end mills for that matter, you get a 10% discount. So enough of selling, I'm going to let you actually talk about the tools.
So solid carbide drills here in the back, there's a couple of examples here. We have 29 different sizes available, and including all of the tap drill sizes for inch size threads. We offer these drills in 2 different geometries. Both geometries are talon coated. That's titanium aluminum nitride coating, which is widely recognized as the best high temperature coating for drilling applications. So the 2 styles that we have, 2 geometries, one is for steel and cast iron. The other geometry is for stainless steel, high temperature alloys, and can actually be used on aluminum. Now the drill for stainless and high temp alloys are only available in through spindle coolant because those applications really require coolant down in the cutting zone. The drills for steel and cast iron, you can get them in non-TSC and TSC versions. They're a lot more a lot more resistant to heat in those materials, so you don't necessarily need to use through spindle coolant on those carbide drills for that material.
Okay.
If we move up to the taps now, we have a variety of different taps. Let's see, the tap sizes are available in 16 different inch size ranges, and metric is coming soon, folks. We get that question all the time. But we carry them in sizes from 440 up to 5/8 11. We've also got them in 5 different coatings. There's a bright coating generally used on aluminum and non-ferrous materials. There's a hard slick coating. There's a titanium aluminum nitride, and titanium carbon nitride. So there's a variety of different geometries and coatings available on all of these. Check out the website, look up the best tap for your application. Also, you got to pay attention to whether you're going tapping a through hole or a blind hole. All of that stuff really matters. So,
okay, let's move on to end mills.
End mills, solid. Here's a range of solid carbide end mills that we carry. First, we're going to start with the 3 fluters here. We've got a 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch version of this to show, but we carry these in 10 sizes. Again, primarily designed to rip aluminum. In the talon coated, so all of our 4 flute and 5 flute end mills are talon coated. Titanium aluminum nitride. We carry those in a range of 15 different sizes for the 4 fluters and 13 different sizes in the 5 fluters. There's also different cut lengths. So again, browse the website, see what we've got. Full range of general purpose sizes of end mills. Again, excellent quality. These solid carbide end mills have been running in the Haas automation shop for years and years and years. Kind of one of those things why that's how we got into distributing tooling.
Yep, we realized, hey, we've been using these for years. Why don't we sell them?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we're moving on now to not just a shell mill, but actually a shell mill kit.
Yeah. So here we're looking at a 3-inch shell mill body with the inserts. And all of these shell mill bodies come with the Torx wrench and the MollyCoat lubricant to put on the screw when you install it. And I can't stress enough that when you're installing inserts, you should always be using the grease, anti-seize grease on your screws,
unless you don't want to get them out ever.
Yeah, you'll really struggle getting them out. So anyway, a tube comes in the kit with all of the shell mill holders. Now, what I wanted to show you is that now the shell mills are pretty new. It's just been a couple of weeks on the website.
The kits are just, a few weeks.
So we not only did we introduce the shell mills, but we also introduced a kit that you can buy. And I'm going to run through on the website. Frank, if you can pull up the website. I've got another computer over here, and I'll show folks. I'm on the HaasTooling.com page, and I'm going to go to milling here, And then once I'm in milling, you'll see I've got shell mill bodies, I've got milling inserts, end mills, and over here, indexable milling kits. This is what I wanted to show. With the indexable shell mill kit, there's 4 easy steps to setting up a kit. Now you get a look at each of the inserts that we offer in our shell mills, as the octagon, the square, rectangle, and so on. But you can see, so the first is to choose your style of insert, and then select your application material, select the diameter that you need, and the last piece of information we need from you is what taper tool holder do you want and how long do you want that tool holder to be. So when I get down here to the kits, I look on the left-hand side and I see the categories. So I'm going to select this Haas rectangle insert here, and I'm going to be cutting aluminum, so I'll select that aluminum material. I want the 3-inch diameter shell mill, and I want, well, let's see, I want
to scroll less.
I want a mouse that scrolls a little smoother than this one. I want the Cat 40 2-inch gauge length tool. So you'll see that I've now narrowed my search down to the Haas HP NP aluminum 3-inch kit. Now if I select this kit, we see that's $500. When I scroll over here, I can see everything in this picture is included with the kit, but also notice down here, I'm going to save 23% on this whole thing by buying it all together at the same time. If I purchase them separately, $648. If I buy them in the kit, $500. Fantastic deal, and it gives me everything I need except the pull stud. I just want to mention that the pull stud doesn't come with this because we don't necessarily know if you want TSC or non-TSC, but you can buy the pull studs separately. So that is putting together a shell mill kit.
Okay, and we're going to show you another shell mill kit. Frank, if you want to come back to us.
Here's another shell mill kit that I put together with a 4-inch shell mill, those rectangular inserts for steel, the 50 taper body. Again, you can see I get a box of inserts, I get the wrench and the anti-seize grease. Comes with these 2 things in the box, and that's it.
Okay, and now we just talked about pull studs, and here they are. It's almost like we planned it. So we've got 40 and 50 taper pull studs. Now we offer both through spindle coolant and non-TSC. You can get them in a box of 10, or we have something called a refresh kit, which is 100 pull studs.
Fantastic.
And I think we want to really talk about quality here, and instead of us just talking about it, what if we show everybody?
So if you can zoom in on this pull stud, I just want people to get a look at the quality of manufacture of this tool. There's no tool marks on this thing at all. It's beautiful. The grind work is awesome. These tools are such high quality, and really, like everything we offer, has been fully tested, and we've been using these pull studs in our shop for years and years and years, and really, really happy with the quality.
Good. Yeah, it's always better to show it than to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on. Now we have a kit. This is a 10-piece tool holder kit, and this is our most popular kit.
10-piece ER tool holder kit. It comes with 3 of the ER32 short gauge length and 1 of the longer gauge length ER32 holders. It comes with 2 of the shorter length ER25 holders and 1 of the long ones. And then the ER16, we also get 2 of the short gauge length and 1 of the longer gauge length. It comes with the wrenches for each of those different sizes. So you get these 10 tool holders, the wrenches, you get a ER16 collet kit, ER25 collet kit, ER32 collet kit, and a box of 10 pull studs for those 10 tool holders that come in the kit. Fantastic kit. Highly recommend. Very versatile because of the range of tools that you can hold with these collets in these ER tool holders.
And that's why it's the most popular kit.
Yeah.
So we're about to leave the land of these are the tools on our site now to the land of these are the tools that are going to be on our site. But this is a good time to talk about something that we've just implemented called the Haas Tooling Buyers Club. And Frank, if you don't mind bringing that graphic up, please. So if you go into HaasTooling.com and scroll down a little bit, there's a banner there on the website. to sign up for the Buyers Club. So the Buyers Club is a couple of things. It's the image you see on your screen right now. Every week you'll get an email and there'll be a different discount on different tools. We might have one tool, some percentage off. In this case, we have a shell mill body and a modular drill body. It changes every week. But in addition to that, and the reason I bring it up now, is we're going to tell you what is coming next on the site. So when we're about to introduce something new, you'll get notified about it. Okay, let's
I wanted to make one point too. On the website, that same HaasTooling.com page, about halfway down, you'll see, I believe it's Contact Us.
That's a good point.
I can pull it up here. Haas Tooling. Go back to this. Anyway, for future tooling, we welcome our customers' ideas. If you scroll down here just below the blocks where we offer the different kits and apparel and all of that, you'll see questions, feedback, recommendations, contact us. Hit that contact us button over there and you'll send an email direct to the guys that head up the tooling department and our e-commerce program, and let them know what you, certainly your experience if you've used the tools, bought tools from our website and use them, but also something that's maybe not on our website now that you think we should be offering.
Yes.
We would like to hear those suggestions. Now, we think we're going to be offering within the next few months a variety that everyone's going to want and fulfill everybody's needs, but there may be something that we've forgotten about that you use that you'd really like, and we'd love to have you give us that feedback and let us know what you would like to see on our website.
So, and the other thing, and I'm glad you mentioned that, is you can now rate the tools. So it's like any rating system. It's 1 star to 5 stars, all on the website. And again, we encourage you to do that. We really want your feedback. You know, we know tools. Obviously, we use a ton of them, but we want your feedback because we want this website and our product offering to be what you guys want it to be. Okay, so
all right.
Coming soon. This table here that we're about to go through is all the tools that'll be coming on the website. Some of it in October, maybe some of it in November. Let's get started with these holders here.
Yeah, so the first thing we have here is 50 taper mill chuck. This one is used because we use it in our machine shop and have for many, many years. I don't know how long this thing's been in service. We don't have any of the actual versions because everything we got to test is actually running out in a machine. So we got an older version just to show you, but this is coming very, very soon. Also, up here in the front, we've got the shrink fit holders. So we're looking at offering shrink fit holders and also in the future shrink fit machines to heat up the tool and insert the tool and get tools out. So again, coming in the future, but here's the shrink fit holders. I love these holders because they've got the holes right in the face for the through spindle coolant, so you don't need slots down your end mill or some have a hole through the center of the end mill. You can put any end mill in there and have TSC coolant spraying right at the tip of the tool down the flute. So there's a couple of sizes of shrink fit, and here's a drill chuck, comes with the key. Fantastic offering of new tool holders that'll be coming soon.
Now we've gotten a lot of requests for these, and these will finally be coming soon. So.
Yeah. So drill sets, these are all tin coated cobalt drills, and we've got them in the number sizes, letter sizes, and down to the fractional sizes as well. So there's a full range of every possible hole size that you need to drill within, the largest one here coming in these 3 kits.
Right. Okay, moving on. A couple of
chamfer mill, inserted chamfer mill. Every good machine shop takes all the sharp edges off of the machine in the CNC machine before the part comes off. So these are fantastic. There's a 2 flute and a 3 flute version of the chamfer tool. These are great for obviously chamfering the top edge of a part, but with the relief angle on the shank, you can get to the bottom and chamfer the bottom edge of a part before it comes off the machine. Very versatile tools.
Okay, so now we're going to get into the land of lathe tooling. And if you guys watched the mill turn, the HTS-400, yesterday morning, I believe it was, Bob Singh was doing that demo. Bob Singh has been supervising all the lathe tooling. Now, Bob has been here even longer than you.
Yeah.
Bob's been here over, I don't know, maybe 25 years, definitely over 20 years. So explain some of the tools that'll be on the website.
So some of the lathe tools that we've got coming. Here's a part-off tool holder and the blade that goes in that tool holder, the inserts that go in that blade. The tool holder comes with its key, hex key to tighten the tool holder in there, as most all of the tools that we offer come with its hardware to install the tools. If we roll over here to the next one, we've got a boring bar and the Torx wrench that comes with that boring bar. Here's the inserts for that boring bar. I've got a smaller CNMG tool holder. Again, that tool holder comes with the Torx wrench. And then next size over, CNMG 432, your basic workhorse in turning. And each of these tool holders with the top clamp style come with the 2 hex keys needed to install those inserts. Here's the larger 1-inch tool stick with the trigon style insert. The next one is the 55-degree diamond tool holder in the 1.25" size for your larger machines. Again, they all come with the hex keys. On the next placard here, we've got a variety of different inserts that are coming. This is an ID grooving insert that'll screw onto the end of a bar, and then a couple of different sizes and styles of lay-down threading inserts, and then a CNMG boring bar insert there on the end. So just a variety of lathe tools that's coming in the very near future.
Yes. Okay, and now again referencing Bob Singh in that video that he and Andrew did on the mill turn, he actually demonstrated this. So if you want to see a demonstration of this, pull up the live stream from yesterday morning and you'll see it, but you can explain what it is.
So this is a collet chuck. This is an A25 collet chuck, and one of the collets that go in there, and then the quick change gun that comes with it to quickly install new collets, change out the collets. So we offer these we will be offering these in an A25, this one, and then the larger A26, which is the one that was actually installed on that mill turn that Bob showed.
Okay, and then these are interesting. This is an interesting story because we thought these wouldn't work, but we were wrong.
Yeah.
So
these are tool holder vices for tightening your either pull studs or shell mill bodies or whatever on your tool. So there's a vertical place to hold the tool vertically, and we looked at this and thought, I had never seen anything like this.
It'll never work.
Yeah, there's no clamp. How does this work? Well, it's got the actual taper machined in here. And the way this locks into the V-flange on the tool, it's actually locked in there really, really tight. You can lift it in and out very easily, but when you're trying to turn to loosen, even pulling up on this thing, it doesn't pull out of here. It was kind of magic.
Much to our surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. So really cool tool holder vices. I like them very much. Can't wait to get them in and get them on the website.
And we've got a 30, 40, and a 50 taper.
Yeah, 30 taper. 30 tapers here in the center, 40 taper out there, and then the 50 taper.
Yep. And I should mention these are CT40, CT50. We will have BT everything coming, tool holders and everything, as well as HSK. So that's more coming in the future. We don't have it displayed, but know that we will have that on the website in the near future.
Yeah, BT and metric. All the tools will be available in metric sizes of those tools soon. Okay,
so we're leaving cutting tool land and coming over here, and let's talk about work holding. So this is kind of another phase that we're going with HaasTooling.com. We've got a variety of different kind of vices and fixturing here. The 2 that will be available immediately, and I believe in October, are these 2 6-inch vices here.
Yeah, 6-inch cast iron vices. We've got the wide base style here that bolts down in 2 places here, and you can also put toe clamps on it. And then we have the narrower base with 2 sets of slots that'll line up with the T-slots. They come with keys that you can put on the bottom, and then you drop the keys into the T-slot, and you don't need to square that vise up. I did one the other day on the UMC 1500 Duo, and the thing was about 6/10 of an inch across the entire 6-inch.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, as I set it in there. And that wasn't even, there's a little tiny bit of play in there, but that was just pushing back on it and bolting down. And that also comes with the bolts, toe clamps, bolts, and T-nuts. for
So
those
you won't
toe
buy
clamps.
this vise, go to put it on your machine and go, oh crap, I don't have any hardware.
Yeah, all your hardware's tied up on other machine.
Right.
No, you'll get
Comes
a set
with
of
everything.
hardware to attach this to your machine with
And
the vise.
I want to mention while we're talking about this is we will also be offering vise jaws and even vise handles, because what shop has not lost a vise handle? Every shop has lost a vise handle. So-
Aluminum soft jaws for machining will be available for all of these as well in the very near future. Obviously, these vices come with a vise handle. That segues us over to the self-centering vise, and this was actually the vise and riser combination that we had on the UMC 1500 Duo this morning. But the comes with the ratchet and the 12mm socket to tighten and loosen this vise. Really high quality grind on all of these jaws. The jaws are serrated and dovetailed. If you can get a good close-up of this right here, you can see an example of the serration that will bite into material if you're holding on to the edges of material, or you can even put a 45-degree dovetail on the bottom of your part, 3mm or 1/18 thick, and this will hold it. I use this exact vise style on the VR8 demo that we saw earlier in this week. So here's the version of this vise that's mounted on the riser here, and then we also have a low profile version of the same vise. Very, very nice. Bolt down through the center. You'll also be able to get toe clamps that clamp on the side of this vise. This one doesn't have that capability because it's the low profile, but the larger version does. Really terrific vise. Very, very happy with it. One of the things I really, really like, let me see, is it, so it's calibrated over here, and these are millimeter sizes here, but this, if you know how wide you need to open your jaws to, you just keep cranking the handle until you get to that number, and that's how wide it is. I really like that feature. That came in very handy, having the scale
gives you that
etched
visual
on the side of the vise.
Right. Okay, and then the last thing on this table here is a 0-point clamping fixture.
So this will be coming soon. A 0-point clamp fixture, pneumatic. We'll have the same 0-point is actually currently available on our TRT 210 as an option on our TRT 210 rotary. And then we're working on more setups for 0-point, but essentially you can make this a fixture, you can mill this out, put any pattern you need to put your part on there, and then you can use the 0-point to put this inside of one machine.
Okay, let's
pull this pallet
I think
off.
most people know, but just in case. So super quick, to your point, you got a fixture to pallet, and clamping it is as simple as that. You're done.
Pull that pallet off, you can take it to another machine, and it'll be, you don't have to indicate it in, you don't have to pick up the 0-point if that other machine has been calibrated with your work offset has been set to the center.
To the center,
right. So excellent tooling capability coming in the very, very near future.
Great, so that's kind of a tour of current to future. We've got one last thing that we want to show you. So I'm going to bring in Andrew and Mitchell O'Meara, who's just joined our video team, and they're going to talk about this tool presetter. Andrew, it's all you.
Thanks, Brian. So before we wrap things up, like Brian said, we just wanted to introduce one more thing that we've got coming on the horizon here soon. This is the HTS-400. Probably plenty of you out there are like, pretty obviously it's a tool presetter. So for those of you who know what that is, that's great, but maybe you can run us through real quick why you want one of these in your shop.
Yeah, so for those of you who haven't encountered a tool presetter before, essentially what a presetter does is it takes the operation of touching off and setting your tool offsets as an operation that has to be done primarily inside of your machine to something that can actually be done offline. So it allows you to continue to be making parts and continue to run your spindle, but while still being able to touch off your tools and set up tools for either replacing the tools that you have in your current job or setting up a brand new job, and so you can continue to make parts, and that just allows you just to make more money at the end of the day.
Your spindle longer and more often per day, so you're making more money.
Exactly.
Cool. So something that's going to pay off for sure.
Oh, definitely.
So why don't we just take a quick look at how this thing works?
Yeah, so it's pretty easy. So I have a tool sleeve in here for a Cat 40 holder because the tools I'm going to be measuring are Cat 40s. But we also have different tool sleeves for a BT30, a Cat 50, or even an HSK. And those you can easily just swap out in between different operations.
So that just drops.
It just drops
in there,
straight
right?
in.
Kind of a real close fit.
Yep, and then each time you swap it, you quickly calibrate it. But it's a very simple process, and it allows you to, even if you have multiple tool holders for your shop, you can actually use the same tool presetter for all those operations.
Cool. Let's look at how it works.
Yeah, so you go ahead and you start by grabbing whatever tool you need. So in this case, this is going to be a 3/4 inch Cat 40 end mill with 4 flutes. I just set it and just drop it down right here into my tool sleeve.
So it just sits in there with gravity, right? You're
just
not
sits in there
locking
with gravity.
anything.
Yep, and then when you calibrate it, it makes sure that you have
you've cleaned everything.
Exactly.
No
Exactly. Sometimes you have dust, and you just clean off the top, and that's really easy. So once it's set in there, you actually want to rotate the tool while it's in there. And so what this does is it allows you to go ahead and set the largest Z height, which is going to be the length of your tool, as well as the X diameter height. So I just come over here, and it'll automatically adjust each time
so you
as it's going
kind of spun that around until you found the high point of the tool.
Right, and so as I continue to spin this around, it'll auto update to find whatever the largest height is. And so sometimes it could be 1,000, sometimes it's a 1/10. But once it finds that largest value, once you've gone around, and I have 4 flutes, so I rotated around 4 times so that I can measure each flute. Then this go ahead and it saves the X diameter offset as well as the Z offset.
Right, so Z tool height, X diameter.
Exactly.
Measurement.
So
Okay,
in this case, this 3/4 inch tool is actually a 0.746 is the actual diameter. And so for this machine, I go ahead and I just click the save button. And that just saved my offsets for this tool. And so now I can use the same offset and load it up into my tool and be the exact same thing as if I were actually using the whips program or touching it off manually in my machine.
So you actually have a file system in here, of course, that stores whatever tools you are measuring, right?
Yeah, so I actually go ahead and create a machine. So if I wanted to say I had a VF2 SSYT, so I can go ahead and I can create a tool. So I can create a machine, for that tool. All my tooling lists to be able to be on there. And so I can actually go in and on that certain machine, if I want to export machines, I can just select and create a tool library for that job and then export it. And so you can have, I think, up to 999 tools on each machines. So you have plenty of space and ability for how many tools you use.
So once you've created a folder in there, let's say you checked a tool initially, then once you load a new end mill or you put new inserts in that particular tool, you just come back here and measure it, and it updates that particular. You select that file and update that particular one as the differences in length and diameter change slightly, right?
Correct. Yeah, so you can either use this for if I'm touching off a brand new tool, or if I'm going in and I want to do part inspection. So I can pull it from my machine after a job and I can put it back on there and see, measure the new tool geometry after I've already machined with it.
Right. Okay, so now I have measured it and I have my dimensions in here. How do I get that into the machine?
Yeah, so you can go about it 3 different ways. You can just take down these measurements and just write them down, and then you can go over into your machine, into your control, and just fat finger them in, just write them in that way. And so you can do that very easily. Or where you can actually...
Like maybe you're doing one or a couple tools that way.
Right. And you can just easily just go over, or I just wanted to check something real quick. That's something that's very simple. Another thing you can actually do is take those offsets, because we created an entire tool list. You can then export those as an offset file onto a USB. And then you can go over into your control, plug it in, upload that offset file, and then it'll automatically update your tool geometries.
Right, so you might have a whole job you're going to update. You load a whole new job, 10 tools or something for that job. You're going to update all of that at once.
Correct. And so even if you have 50 tools and say I only want to update the geometry on 3 of those, I still create this one offset file. When I load it into the tool, it's only going to update those 3 tools and leave the remaining 47 tools totally fine. And so you can actually do this on both NGC and the classic controls. So you don't have to worry about, does my control work? Uploading an offset file works for both
newer
of
older
the controls.
machines, this will work fine, okay.
Right.
And then there's a third way.
And so this is one of my favorites. So this is going going to be exclusively for NGC controls. And so I can actually, when I create my tools and set my offsets, I can then actually print out a label with its QR code. And so when I go over to machine, I have a USB Bluetooth reader for the machine. And so I can take my QR scanner and actually just go straight and upload directly onto my control, and it'll upload the offsets onto the machine. So I don't have to worry about exporting a file. I can go ahead and measure all my tools, put labels on them, set them aside, and so when I need it, I can grab my tool, scan it in, put it in the spindle, and I'm back up and running.
So, and you also kind of have an indication that you've done that tool. It's just a
Exactly.
visible indicator that
Exactly.
I've measured that tool.
Exactly.
Cool. That sounds great. So
yeah.
now this thing is slotted for release.
Yeah, towards the end of the year. So actually, we're
End of 2020.
End of 2020. So around December is when we're projecting to release this. And yeah, I think this is going to be a really powerful tool for machinists to be able to add to their arsenal.
Yeah, it's good. It should pay for itself, keeping the spindle turning more often every day.
Exactly.
Cool.
And you can use this small shop, large shop. It's going to save you money either way.
Very good. Thanks, Mitchell.